Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm going to talk to you today about the American election. And as you know, America is the biggest democracy in the world, and it's also the most powerful nation. And whoever's going to head the American nation is going to be a man who must be alert because he is the leader of the most powerful nation on earth. Well, the elections are due toward the end of the year, and the clash, as usual, will be between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. But there's one point which we must bear in mind that there could be some independent candidates also contesting, but those candidates are as good as zero. Nobody wins anything. And the contest is only between the Republicans and the Democrats. And the Republicans are pushing for Donald Trump again. And 99 out of 100 cases, in case Donald Trump is not debarred by the courts, he will be the nominee of the Republican Party for the president. We don't know his running mate, but there's a lot of talk that Ramaswamy could be his running mate. Coming down to the Democrats, Biden wants to be the person in charge, and probably he'll have some support from Obama, because in case Biden wins the presidency by any means, then Obama gets a lease of life. Because as things stand, I think people understand that Biden is incapacitated. He's not in this normal frame of mind, and the entire government is run by Barack Obama as it stands. And so Obama will run for another 4 years, and maybe after that he could ask Michelle, his wife, to take over and see that he wins, and he would continue to be the man behind the scenes. But Biden is not inspiring confidence at the moment, because all this calculation could fail if Biden is defeated. And the chances are that he will be defeated, because in the last two presidential debates, he's got a sorry figure facing Donald Trump. He doesn't know how to match up to the dynamism of the ex-president. Donald Trump has always maintained he won the last election, and other extraneous factors were there that threw him out of the reckoning to be president of America. Well, maybe true, may not be true. I've got no proof on it, and the matter is not something which is sitting here. We can comment about it, but this is what Donald Trump feels, and I think I can just quote what he's saying. And he's being tried on so many charges, including an insurrection charge, which is pretty silly. But this part of the game, I mean, you always want to keep your opponent down, and this is what the Democrats are trying to do. Let's see if this succeed. The question is, will Donald Trump win the elections, and if he's allowed to contest, and who's going to be the Democrat nominee? As it stands, it looks like it could be Joe Biden. But in case the Democrats feel, well, this man is not really up to the mark, then they have to look around for somebody else, and it could be Kamala Harris. And that would be a short win for Donald Trump. There's another dark horse, and that could be the wife of the ex-president, President Obama, Michelle Obama, and she could contest. But you remember Hillary lost despite all the support she had, and I don't think, despite the hold which Obama has over the American masses, she will be able to beat Donald Trump. So, gentlemen, it's a very clearly cut-and-dried case as far as America is concerned. Donald Trump's win is not something that's going to be liked by most nations in the world, because he's a man with revolutionary ideas. I think he went around once said that NATO is an obsolete organization. He heaped praises on Vladimir Putin, and during his tenure, Vladimir Putin had occupied the Crimea and he didn't do much about it. So we don't know what's going to happen. I think he has a feeling that the Ukraine war is futile, like I do, and probably he'll think about something else after that. So, gentlemen, the situation in America is very tense. It's fraught with a lot of tension, because there are charges being filed against Donald Trump and also against Biden. Biden also facing an impeachment, which of course not going to succeed. But one very important thing which has happened in America is that the son of Joe Biden has been convicted. I mean, this is very serious news. If the son of an American sitting president is convicted on any charge, whatever it may be, it definitely is very, very dubious for the entire country, not something which is very good, something which Americans should feel happy about. Donald Trump is facing so many charges. In fact, I've lost count of the charges which he's facing, and the elections are still a few months away, and the Democrats have not lost all their ammunition yet, and they'll try their best to debar Donald Trump from contesting the elections. But in case, gentlemen, Donald Trump does contest the election, there is no doubt that he'll win the election, and that will be a shot in the arm for the American state, because America, which is a dying power, will be revived for some time, and can do so only if Donald Trump becomes the President of America. Europe, as it is, as you know, is facing a lot of problems. There's a demographic problem, there's an Islamic problem, and then they have a decadent society which is really frittering away at the seams because they have a sizable minority which is eating into their vitals, and they have lost all their past stages, their colonies on which they were thriving, they're nowhere. But you must remember that Europe has a penchant for war. The first two world wars were fought where the epicenter of Europe, and even now there's a battle on in Ukraine, and this is again a creation of the West and the Americans. And if you go through the videos of John Mishimar, you will see that America is the man which is the country which instigated the Ukraine conflict. There's no doubt about it. But they didn't win. They thought they'll win. They always can't follow the copybook which they planned. And as it stands, Ukraine is on the losing side, and Zelensky is running around here and there. Of course, it's good to have a stooge like Zelensky who always says, yes, sir, three bag full. He continues to do that, but it's not going to bring victory that easily. And unless Donald Trump comes in and gives a solution, World War III could well be on the anvil with Ukraine. Vladimir Putin, I think, is fighting hard, but in my view, he committed a great blunder when he couldn't win the war within the first 30 days. After all, in a country as big as Ukraine was occupied by the Indian army inside 13 days in the 1971 war, because we meticulously planned Hamlet to Hamlet. This the Russians never did, and the net result was that it's been a prolonged conflict. They've taken some territory in the eastern region, but that doesn't mean victory. And I don't think the Americans will allow them to win. But things could change if Donald Trump becomes president, and there could be a negotiated peace, and Russia could get a lot of territory into their kitty. Well, the elections in Europe are also coming in now. Rishi Sunak is leading an election against the Labour Party. We'll have to see what happens on that. And the far right is resurgent as far as Europe is concerned. But now, what happened in America? Americans talk a lot of democratic ideas in their own country. They want to talk about the same things in the other countries. But America follows the system of democracy at home and autocracy abroad. So we have to wait and see how it works out. But the crucial factor, who wins the next election in 2020? If Donald Trump wins, there'll be a sea change and America will reassert itself. And in case he loses, I think we can write that America's sunset has begun. Thank you, gentlemen. I hope you like this video, share it with your friends, and I look forward to interacting with you again. Goodbye and God bless.